Good evening, folks. This is a bit of a take two on my previous video. I had a wee listen back, and I just think there's some things I should maybe better articulate. This video I record is not really for an audience, a wider audience. I would say it's more audio feedback that I would plan to pass on to Konami in some means. And I should just again preface that I am friends with both Adam and Asim. I consider them as great friends. I truly value what they have done, what they do. I know they come from the right place with this series, 100%. I should also give a shout out to Thomas Broad. These guys put blood, sweat and tears into this product. The fact is, as a product, it is a team effort, so that goes to developers, of course, the guys that make the magic happen, and there is it's a big team, and when that happens, sometimes it can all fall into place and something wonderful can happen. Sometimes it just doesn't happen, and sometimes the good outweighs the bad. I need to discuss the bad here, and it's not about gameplay specifically. It's not about the product specifically. It is entirely centered around MyClub and what I am experiencing, what my concerns are, and really where I think it can get better. I will, however, be sure to offer credit where it's due, because there is credit, there are plus points, there are improvements, and I'll maybe start with those. Maybe start with some of those first of all. When MyClub was announced for PES 2019, the push was that it was all new. Now, that could be up for debate for many, but what I would say is there was definitely new introductions to the mode, which for the most part have been they've been more than welcomed from a player like myself especially. Certainly player slots now being up to 1,000 from the off is fantastic. No more farming for GP and having to spend money on player slots. It means to say that you can just have at it and build squads, and not necessarily have to discard players or not get worried about getting caught up in bronze player development if you're running out of player slots and you want to push, you land golds or whatever, and you need to start binning players. That's all out the window, and that's fantastic. Likewise, 150 scout slots at a time off the bat. No more having to farm for GP. Very little likelihood that you're stopped from playing because you can't play because you need to get a scout. Fantastic. Also, what that allows is for you to hoard the scouts, and if you're someone like me who, certainly early doors will maybe kind of really invest in combinations and getting the players they want, but after a while just use it as a pool, as another means in which to get XP. If not land the gems randomly, then you're at least generating XP players that can be used for trainers. That's fantastic, and it all, in theory, would therefore result in us being able to build, or the actual wider gameplay user base, to build greater variety in squads that you come up against. Elsewhere as well, skill trainers and position trainers are a fantastic addition. My only thing about skill trainers is that I think they could look at that a little bit more. Certainly with regards to white ball and bronze ball players, maybe even probably silver ball players as well, whereby you're not limited to just one and swapping that out. But in the case of white balls and bronze balls and silver ball players, you can add another and another and another. So as it just gives you that kind of greater flexibility again, and again taps into that potential of there being a wider variety of what you can come up against. So those are all great additions in my opinion, fantastic additions. It leans the mode a little bit more towards a Master League-like experience with regards to player development. For me, on a personal level, that is fantastic. That would, and again I say in theory, would keep me hooked on this mode all year round without fail, because there would be always something to play towards. So kudos there, really, really good decisions, really good implementations. They are, however, caveated somewhat, and that's what I would like to discuss in a little bit more detail here just now. In the last, I'd say, month or so now, MyClub, and you know, I could maybe get offered statistics that tell me differently, but MyClub seems quiet, which is not strictly true. I'm aware of that. People are definitely playing this game. People are definitely playing MyClub. How people are playing MyClub now is the issue. And it taps into and is fed and driven by the introduction of players of the week and featured club players. Now, on the face of it, players of the week is a great idea. Maybe even featured clubs players is a great idea. Where I see the problem, the root of the problem is what they do with these players of the week in two respects. The first one, I'll just say it outright, is the fact that they are paywalled. I have to be a realist here, and it's certainly not a Konami exclusive thing whereby they're the only ones paywalling content, but them being strictly paywalled is an issue. Likewise, I would also say that players of the week, the players of the week pool and the featured clubs pool players each week should not be strictly paywalled. They can be, if you know, again, I'm just trying to be realistic here. That's the way the kind of industry can work. But those players, I believe, should be thrown in a collector's box as well. So there's a chance of landing one of these players of the week within that week's period. So that players who play with GP alone and do not invest in coins still have a chance. Maybe it's a slim one. We know that. The odds are given somewhat. That you might land one of those players. So I think that needs to be looked at. The real issue is what players of the week are all about at the moment. Now, this week's not a great week for it. Well, in fact, it is, because once again, Aubameyang is featuring as a 92 rated centre forward. And believe me, that might not look much, but Aubameyang is a cheap player, essentially. And you combine that with something else that I'm going to touch on. It's kind of spoiling the gameplay experience. See guys like this. I'll even go Rafa Silva and below. No issue. That's great. See just players that are maybe bronzes or silvers and they get a wee boost up to gold or silver. That's great. That, in theory, I believe, should see an increase in variety in what you play up against. That doesn't happen, unfortunately. Because if we move over to the, if we move over to featured clubs, it's 100% black ball likelihood, right? Now this is not a particularly strong week, you could say, but again, we're looking at 90 pluses. 90 plus overall players in this game are cheap players. And the fact of the matter is that they're being added every week. And it is seriously compromising the gameplay experience in MyClub. Because this is how people are playing now. It's all about this. And what ends up happening is, and I'm going to go to match here. What ends up happening is ranked match dies on its ass. I'm a player who looks to play to 3-star level, love playing 2-star level, even going up to 4-star. For the last 3 days, getting a ranked match in 2, 3-star or 4-star has been pretty torturous. Nothing like how it was last year in PES 2018, where it was a couple of minutes wait and I got my match on 3 stars, no problem. Likewise with PES 2017. It's just no longer really much of an option unless I want to sit and search opponents for maybe 10-15 minutes at a time. Because nobody's playing 3-star and 4-star. Everybody's playing these online cups. Now this week has been like the breaking point for me. I have had a couple of days off work, a couple of days holiday, and I've thought, right, okay, win streak challenge, here we go. I'm not a fan of win streak challenge at the best of times, but I'd say 6 weeks ago you'd get it done. You know, you would eventually get it done and it'd be fun. Now we are so far deep down the rabbit hole with featured players of the week and featured club players that these cups are the only place people go to play, and it is completely dominated by players who are spending money and fielding 1 through 11 of 90 plus overall rated players. And frankly, the football is taking a huge hit as a result of that. 4 days ago I played a 3-star ranked match and it was tremendous. It was great fun. A couple of GGs at the end between me and the user who I played against. Both walked away going, that was a really good game, eh? Which was a nice reminder that this game is still a fantastic football game. Certainly within, you know, that it can cater for players like myself. It can do it. Many a 2-star game I've had where it's been similar experience. Like, this is just the best online football experience that I've had, apart from the demo, which I can maybe touch on later for reasons that I'll outline. But it's no longer much of an option to play 2-star, 3-star. It's dried up, or it's drying up, because everybody's playing the weekly cups with featured players of the week. They're hoarded up featured players of the week in 90 plus OVR squads, and essentially it just becoming a complete crapshoot and a bit of a farce as a gameplay experience. It's no longer football. It's like I say, with regards to featured players of the week, in theory, it's fine. It's actually a good idea. I get where it's coming from. But again, I think it should be more about a bronze player performing well. You've done it a couple of weeks ago, where there's a guy who I've got as bronze and unfortunately never landed him from that featured players pool. Alexic, he's a cracking player at bronze. I thought, God, gold Alexic would be brilliant. That kind of thing, I'm fully on board with that. You've got me with that. You don't have me with the paywall aspect of it. I have to be completely honest. Those players, like I say, they should be chucked in the collector's box as well. so that players who play through GP only have a slim chance or some chance of maybe landing them. But with regards to featured players of the week, doing that with silvers, a silver bumping up to maybe gold, or maybe even pushing 85 black, that's fine. Maybe increases a little bit of variety, but this frequency of high 80s and over 90s is just too much. And it's a serious detriment to the gameplay experience and the variety, what you can do within MyClub. The fact of the matter is that players who play in these cups now will be playing, they'll get their GP bonus from playing in the cups, they'll also get special trainers who I've got no doubt throw them immediately into their black ball featured players of the week to make them even stronger. Coupled with this, it's a win at all cost mentality now. So nobody, I have not yet played against anybody else since the update, and I'm going to thank Konami for this. They've put a yellow bar on for those who use advanced shooting, because that helps me identify. I use advanced shooting exclusively. That's on me. I like that. But that lets me identify, that lets me truly see who's using basic shooting and who's not. And I have not played a match yet since this update, and I've played a lot of matches to the point my rank is tanked, and I can explain why that is also, whereby another user is using either advanced shooting or anything below pass assistance 3. So it's win at all costs now. Ranked matches are drying up, specifically on the lower levels. It's becoming too... I'm not getting matches with the same frequency as I did in previous editions. So therefore, if I want to play MyClub, I need to play the cups. I need to play against 1 through 11 90 plus OVR squads. And it's just horrible. What makes this worse at the moment is manager ID. I'm sorry, but it 100% exists, and it's farcical at the moment. I'm speaking from experience here. I done a previous stream to this one because I just want to kind of take a different tone. Not that my previous stream was full of expletives or anything, but there was a little bit more in the way of frustration, certainly. I just want to address, I just want to be a little bit more articulate it better. But manager ID is a stain on the mod. There's no other way to put it. Before the last stream, I actually played 3 matches. One was against the Fernando Santos manager team. And I think the other 2 were Klopp managed users using Klopp. Now those managers combined with these 90 plus players of the week is just a joke to play against, quite frankly, because of the assistance that these managers offer users with regards to pressing, tackling, interceptions and marking. Worse, and it's very visible, rebounds. On top of that, players get boosts. Their Messi runs faster than my Messi, even though they're the same level, and I've checked this in matches. If you're using Klopp and I've got Elenichev, your Messi's going to play better than mine. He's going to run faster. He's going to tackle better. That's not on. That you've got to look at that. Konami need to look at that. The developers need to look at that, because making managers premium type content that influence the gameplay experience is just not a level playing field. I picked a manager such as Elenichev because I like 5 at the back. I think he started off with skill points of like 300, and I thought, that's okay, I'll work towards it. I'll get him up to that level whereby if I want to play 5-star and want to combat 4-3-3 in the cups with 5 at the back, which will transition into 3 at the back using the 3 at the back manager, I can do that. It has not made one blind bit of difference because of all the assists and aids that these premium manager ID'd managers have and users who use them. And this is all these online cups consist of, is people with Klopp, with De Santos, with Simeone, maybe Valverde, and maybe a couple of others whereby they're getting assistance. The AI is assisting them. I mean, the interceptions and man marking and the pressing and the tackling and the sudden, you know, the speed boosts and the first touch assistance, it's just through the roof now. I've got a manager like Lanarkshire now. 5 at the back should be a viable option. But my 5 at the back, no matter what I do in advanced tactics, what I do to tweak it, what I look to do with my own game, my own inputs, they will not intercept, they will not press, they will not do anything that is on par with what these premium level managers can do for users. It's not even. But, it's like I say, the bigger concern from a fan of this game is the environment, the playing environment. Ranked match, anything below 5-star, it's just potluck if you're going to get a game first time. I'm not. Even before the most recent update, I spent half an hour one night just trying to get a 3-star match. That never happened in the last previous PES 2018 and PES 2017 in MyClub. Just never happened. It was a couple of minutes and I got a match. There's something not right. But it is, I mean, I say this as a fan of the series, as someone who's friends with those who work on this product, and like I say, they work hard on it, and they do not look to, they're not trying to cheat anyone or con anyone, or they're not sitting there laughing at people. I know what this franchise means to them when they're working on it, and I'm just trying to wave a bit of a red flag here and say there is an issue with this mode that is maybe great from a company perspective if you have these players that might number in a few thousand who are willing to spend fortunes on this game and buy up all those players every week, but it's leaving players like myself, who probably do as amongst the majority, it's leaving us a little bit disillusioned at the moment. It's really unfortunate that somebody like myself who likes to get bronze players, silver players and level them up and, you know, level them up and challenge these guys with these black ball players are now being cast further aside. That even the weekly cups become a slog. They stop becoming a challenge, and a challenge that I'm up for. It's just like, oh God, win streak challenge is a joke. The three match one whereby I get 4 points, that's fine, that's okay. Win streak challenge is a joke, especially now, and it's just gaining more and more momentum. It's becoming more and more obvious as the weeks go by that these cups are just basically going to be unplayable for a great deal of players. They're going to get no joy out of them because they're just going to be faced up against superstar squads. That kills variety, I'm sorry, it really, really does. All I can do in my club, it feels in the moment, is play against 4-3-3 or some kind of variant that allows a guy to stick Ronaldo or Aubameyang up top with Neymar and Salah, or Neymar and Messi, or all 5 of them or whatever. And people do that. And they can do that because of the manager ID. I have played against players who are playing speedster wingers, who are featured players of the week, and just cramming them into midfield because it doesn't matter, because the manager ID is taking care of business for them. So while there are some restrictions in place, and I was thankful for that, and it worked for the mode, not allowing people to stick 5 up front, they're able to circumnavigate it by just playing all their speedster players anyway, because the manager's picking up the slack for them. It's making them centre midfielders. It's giving them great pressing ability. It's giving them good tackling, ball winning, intercepting. And it's compromising the gameplay experience hugely at the moment. I just want to wave this red flag here. It's a bit of an SOS, because the actual football that can be played in PES 2019 can be fantastic. The reason I also know that is because I do a lot of MyClub friendly matches against some friends, and every time we walk away going, those were brilliant matches, because I'll tell you why. They feel closer to the demo when you play in friendly mode. It feels closer to the demo. It doesn't quite reach the demo's heights, but it feels closer to it, very close to it. In fact, it consistently, you walk away going, fantastic matches there. As soon as you go into that competitive environment though, and are pretty much now restricted to having to play weekly challenge cups against guys who are spending money or just overloading their squad with black ball players, leveled up black ball players or whatever, it stops becoming fun. It becomes a chore. I also just want to touch on versus com. I have a lot of fun playing versus com. In fact, it's where the fun I can have with the game in the moment is found, with those bronze, ball and silver squads I'm trying to develop, and but I don't know what I'm developing them out for now, because I've got some silver ball players that have now broke that 85 threshold, so have now technically black ball level players. I can't use them in the online cups because they're still going to get steamrolled by 96 Ziyech's, 92 PKs, 94 Sergio Busquets. So it's all shifted up. Last year, without those featured players of the week, if you worked towards that and got your silver players up to that level, you had a great wee squad that was unique, and loads of players were doing that. It's not happening now. People are just picking up these featured players of the week and loading up their squads and going into these online challenge cups and making them just joyless. So I do turn to VCOM, and I have to say, VCOM needs to be looked at. More needs to be done in the VCOM space. Cloud leagues, stick me in with 20 players and just say, right, you have one week to do a season of matches against these guys' cloud squads who they've put forward their cloud squads. No bother. I'll do that. Play at your own pace. So if you've got a points tally chase or whatever, somebody does their 38 games in 2 days or whatever, that's fine. If it takes me a week, at least I know the table can still be active. Look at stuff like that. Give wee rewards out at the end of the week. Make VCOM something you can do in MyClub, because I can guarantee you, if you brought in a feature like that, people who have no interest in MyClub, and maybe no interest in playing online, would probably still find themselves playing a bit of MyClub VCOM. So you would be getting more data, more feedback on the game itself as well along with it. The mode in which is driving the product at the moment, you would be having more users doing more things on it. Really have a look at that. VCOM Cups Weekly, they're okay. They're okay for picking up an agent, for picking up, like I say, with the introduction of skills trainers and positions trainers, that's pretty good. Having that has been one of the things there that have come in with VCOM Challenge Cups. with this, with PES 2019. But just a little bit more. It's like I say, cloud leagues, cloud tournaments, stuff like that. You know, I promise you, it works. People will get drawn to that because they can play quicker matches, they get better turnover on their games, they can experiment with squads more. They'll play more of the game, they'll invest more into it. You'll get more feedback. I should also say, with regards to what is team strength, how that's managed at the moment, what these featured players of the week has clearly highlighted to me is the need for a 6-star team strength level. Because see, if you did that, at least players would know what they're going to be in for. You know? And that includes, ranked, 6-star ranked. When it comes to online challenge cups, and I'm going to touch on something immediately after this, at least people know there's a chance at 6-star level it's going to be demanded here. But more credit has to be offered. I think it was 2 weeks ago, maybe a month ago, you had the online challenge cups whereby you did have actually 3 options. So there was the 2-star online challenge cup, there was the somewhat odd 2299er under cup, I would say make a 3-star cup, and then you had the 2300 and over. I ask you to consider making that more or less an exception, giving people that variety every week with regards to online play, and not making it these online cups that are completely geared towards 90 plus overall squads. They're not fun. They've stopped becoming fun, and if they're fun, they're fun for players who just want a little bit more instant gratification. I don't want to refer to them as casual, just instant gratification and want to play with superstars. I think you're sleeping on a wider audience who would love to be playing online challenge cups with parameters in place, which means they can't necessarily play with superstar squads. The 2-star cup showed that. I get games without fail, and they were great contests and mostly in good spirit. Yes, you still got white benchers, which is something else I think that should be looked at, and be happy to offer greater feedback on that, as to how that could be managed. But it just has become more and more, obvious and apparent that the actual playing space, as much as so much has come into the mode, what is available to do seems to have shrunk. And it's because of where everybody's getting driven towards. I believe I've covered everything there. And again, I offer this feedback with respect as a fan of the series and as someone who's just got a bit of concern at the moment. But also someone who would just like to offer some suggestion. Does have their ear to the ground when it comes to community talk and stuff like that. I just feel that there's a little bit more that could be done within MyClub that could actually attract more players. And I do think, honestly, team strength is key to that. Variety in team strength, more competitions that are with those parameters, more in the way of VCOM, little cloud leagues for a week and stuff like that. You'll be set up. That stuff will work. But I really do need to ask that manager ID is looked at very carefully, because that is not, it's a bit of a joke, I have to be honest. I say this as someone who's invested heavily in other managers, of the belief that if I got the management skills up, I'd be able to field the stronger teams with the formation that I want, and I'd be able to have a fighting chance. I don't. We don't, because they don't get managed. They don't have the same little boosts that Klopps and De Santoses and the like have. And it's really unfortunate to see, because again, it didn't seem like that last year. It didn't seem as prevalent, glaringly obvious. So I think I've made this one a little bit shorter and sharper. I will pass this on. I'll link it up to Asim, whom I'd just like to say, with regards to my tweets towards the official PES account, there's nothing personal there. There is certainly frustration, but I'm not accusing, certainly not trying to, I'm not being, I'm certainly not accusing the team of some kind of devious underhand tactics here. I just want to call it as I see it and just say, listen, there's just things that need to be done to just level things out that little bit more and ultimately enhance the experience and offer that greater variety. There's increasing licenses this year, there's more stadiums, there's so many good things going for the game. Even in MyClub, I was really looking forward to a hugely varied playing space in which I could go in and out of different team strengths and have great experiences and come up against all sorts, but I'm not. I'm just coming up against featured players of the week and being forced to play online challenge cups week in, week out to guarantee an online match. And it's not because the fun is slowly getting sucked away, and the issues with regards to manager ID and the influence that that's having on matter and proceedings is becoming more and more frustrating, because I do know I am playing against, in many cases, players of lower skill who are being supported by their manager's ID and also the assistance levels that the game offers, which I'm not one of these people who will say, don't give PA3. The fact is that this is a game that is meant to be for all football fans. Accessibility, therefore, is key. I guess I'm just saying this as a player who enjoys a mode that is considered some, casuals mode or glory hunters mode, but don't approach it as such and think it can be more than that. I have championed it. There is an almost, it's even with the introductions to PES2019, with position trainers and skill trainers, it pushed, and with existing player development, and that being a little bit easier because of duplicate players and stuff, it moves a little bit closer to a Master League sensibility to things, which is great. I just think it's been sort of the potential, it's not been fully realised with the featured players of the week and featured clubs just throwing out these blackball players week in, week out with ridiculous ratings. That coupled with the manager ID woes that I have, it just makes it a little bit, it just makes the experience feel a little bit, and I hate to use these terms, a little bit on rails. A little bit more, not so much, I hate again to use the word scripted, but there's a scripting sensation. And I don't want MyClub to be about, you need to pick one of these 4 managers and you need to have black ball players to even compete. Again, I pass this on with respect. This feedback is offered with respect. Shout out again to Asim and Adam and Thomas and everybody who works on the product. This feedback is coming from the right place, I guarantee you. And I will continue to support the product as much as well. I have an interest in football video games, which has been for in excess of 30 years now, and I don't see that necessarily changing. Okay, and with that I'm going to sign off, and I'll come back soon. Hopefully this can be considered by you guys. Thank you.